If you would have rode the wave on this, let's see where I would have got in. You're in.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
You had got out all the way up to here, right? Because I don't see a body close lower until here. And that's the first retracement. And it did retrace all the way 30 pips. Well, just because of this right here.
Very light.
Yeah, well, just kind of wobble into this. And this is one where you might want to just play with some take profit here. But yeah, light is kind of the key because you're getting 10 pip candles. And if you take trades, you don't want to be on the wrong side of a 30 pip candle, or 20 pip candle. Like look at that, that's an 8 pip candle. So our price cycles is really, really good, right? So yeah, that is a good question. John is saying, on what were spreads? Anybody trade that? I mean, on news events, I guess you're glad to be in a zero spread account.
It can get a two, but when it moves that fast, you get beyond it pretty quick. You'll get beyond a 2 pip spread in a few seconds when it's scooting like that.
Yeah, just
curious. 200. So does everyone see how textbook that was though? That it came out with inflation reading much lower than expected. That plays against the dollar. That's why it goes up, 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 up. That is a perfect textbook move.
But I don't think anybody anticipated it.
No. Well, you wait for the number to be announced.
Right. Well, also that big of a move, right?
I expect at least 100 on a miss that big.
That's true.
I would have expected 100 pips on a miss like that. A missed expectation. Well, next time. Sure, there'll be another inflation report sometime.
Maybe sometime.
4 days, 3 days, 4 days, another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have taken.
The thing is, make sure everyone understands that that's a perfect, predictable textbook move. You wait for the announcement of the number. You don't try to guess it because there's no way to guess it. You wait for the number to be guessed, and if it's lower than expected, it's going to shoot towards the euro. If it's higher than expected, it's going to shoot towards the dollar. And if you look at all the pairs, it did that perfectly predictably. Every pair moved 100 or more pips away from the dollar just instantly on the announcement. So that's an easy news read right there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to look to see if this just kind of trading the light here in case it does pop up. If it does, I will still sell. I think seeing if we see it playing the response basically to that move.
So if the news already passed, why would you see it moving further up? I know the market can do anything, but
just because you don't really have, you don't have support and resistance if you move higher, right? And so I just don't like being caught in an area where I don't have support and resistance because then I can't tell where my action points are. So it makes it more difficult for me to trade. That's just personal, right?
Right.
So if it breaks above, then it could run because you don't have anything to support. You don't have balance points. You got to go out, to maybe like the hour of the day to find those support and resistance. Yeah. And Jeremy says you have momentum, sure, as well, right? Momentum to push it higher. So it is trying to come up here and play right there on the top of that. We'll just see if it does. If it does break this, then I am a buyer fan. You got 12 pips from that to that. We'll see if it comes back down. Again, trading light right in here, just because the moves are so big that you don't need to be in a heavy position.
So we use a valet here.
If it crosses over, that's with the body. Then I'll start getting into buys.
After it moves like more than 100 pips like that, it has to go through a price discovery phase. Bibbles around a lot and then finds out where once it's new, it's normal to be.
Mm-hmm.
No, price discovery, which is a fancy word for bopping around trying to find out where it wants to find equilibrium.
It's like, well, I don't know where it's going to go. That's what the market's saying. Do we go higher? Do we stay here? What do we do?
Yeah. You always have a dead cat bounce and then a little bit of a follow through. And some people react a bit later. Longer term traders will hear about it a little later. Institutions might put more on after they confer and have a conference. So you can have like a follow through.
So this candle right here will tell me if I'm going to buy or not. It goes past.
Is anyone trading through that news there? Or,
a few people.
Good, bad, indifferent?
Yes.
Yeah. Were they long or?
You had some people that killed it, like Josh, and then other people that got killed.
Yeah.
I did good, but I cut my losses short.
Gotcha.
I cut my wins lots.
Yo, okay. It's like you cut your winners short. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, check that calendar, and anything that ends in I, that's an inflation report.
Right.
That's going to be even more important than anything that has to do with unemployment. Because unemployment is fine now. Nobody's super worried about that. Everyone's just focused on how much groceries cost. People got to eat.
All right. I'm going to take a few buys here just for a ride to the top and see what it does. It's definitely going to test the top. If it breaks, then I'll get out of my cells.
Eventually, it has to come down. Oh, another thing is, I noticed that it crossed the parity.
Oh yeah. It did, didn't it, last night? And then it shot right back past it. That's crazy. All right, so it has to hold the body for these cells to be into play. I don't like it when it just does that. That doesn't really. It's like, did it cross and didn't? It didn't. Did it or didn't it? I like to have more of a firm stand.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
At what point would you look at the fib on this?
Probably about here. So if you fib it, this is probably where your first level is, or your second level. Let's just draw it. So you go body to body, and I did it the wrong way. You trade the direction of you do it the direction of the move, not the direction you want it to go. Yeah, like I said, this is about that first fib right here, the 23. So it's just that it has to kind of cross this right there and on and down. And then you kind of see how big of a response that's going to be. And if it does that right there and holds this, it's going to come down and test this bottom, which is good. Now I did belay this with buys right there, but we'll see. I might just, these candles are big enough. I think what I'm going to do here is play the profit game. Yes, the profit game. Do you know the profit game?
How was that played?
I thought that's what we were playing.
No,
Right.
you guys are playing a completely different game. I don't know what you guys are playing.
Right.
I'm just gonna throw a take profit on. Is what I'm doing and see where that puts me. So yeah, see, just going for 3. So instead of playing like action points, I'm just gonna go through 3 pips, profit, kind of load up a little bit more. I think I'm gonna peel out of my longs.
So what was it that you did?
The profit game.
Yeah, but how?
To take profit, basically. I'm adding a take profit to my trades.
Oh, how many pips?
3, just because you can start gobbling up 3 here, 3 there, 3 everywhere.
Okay. And you're doing sales on that or buys?
Both. Whenever I enter into a trade, it'll automatically have a take profit. I just put that on. It's like I'm tempted to peel off my long layers, which I probably will on a pop-up green. All right, I'm gonna just close out my longs because I feel like this confirmation is coming for a test down to the bottom. And I'm just going to take a little bit of a buy right here on this candle, just as it pulls back to get that layer. It's just taking like little tiny sips out of the market. So if I'm only going for 3 pips at a time, just allows me to, that gets kind of easy to grab. 1 second. I'm gonna let my dog out here real quick. Oh, it's a frosty morning. Got a little bit of snow last night, just a little bit. Just kind of tricky because it broke. Should have come down, tested this, didn't retrace that all the way back up to touch that. So basically, I'm hoping that we're just going to get some consolidation right in here. And we do that. That's why I put the take profit on and just start gobbling up profit on a consolidation and of 8 pip consolidation. It's awesome. If you zoom in, this is really what you're looking at. Ooh. Turn a little heavy. Just notice that. All right, I think I'm gonna, the breaks below this, look to get out of some of these cells down here. Pick up some profit in order to do that. Sorry, guys, I'm a little tired this morning, so still trying to wake up. Kind of seeing if we're playing this consolidation and then where is it going to break. I'm still a little bit, my mind could be changed at any moment, but I'm still feeling like should get a move lower just in the response to this big move. But my mind can be changed. It could go continue to run. Just run. So I have an open mind.
Is there any more news coming up?
I don't think so.
That's it for a while.
Yeah. That happened. There's a test to the top. Is this our turning point? So this is a fake out or a breakout, right? That's the question you have to ask. This candle should answer that.
Staff hours, it's been slowly channeling up. Doesn't mean it's not going to break down though.
This hour. She's not got anything on the hour that we can see really quick. Go to the day. There we go. Put these guys about 15. If we can get you to hold, that'd be good. Back to the
Dead.
It just doesn't want to
Mhm.
move my take profits. Struggling. All right, I'm gonna pop my pup in. It's not letting me do anything because it's fighting those take profits, and so it's not even letting me put on any more trades.
You may have to remove that EA and put it back on.
Okay.
Expert advisors.
Yeah, thanks. I was like,
Remove.
there we go. Tell you, I'm tired this morning.
First rule of troubleshooting tech: unplug it, plug it back in.
Yeah, I know. In my first job that was probably my first job right out of high school. I worked for Hewlett Packard, if you guys remember those guys. And I worked as a level 2 tech support. And so where are we at now? All right, so got my reset to 0. I did that because I felt I was in a little too heavy and I wanted to take the power back from the market, but I didn't want to take a big loss. So I wanted to put more on actually, so I wouldn't take that much of a loss, just on that little bit of a move right there. So I kind of wanted to get that reset to 0. But yeah, so I worked well, before I go back to that story, right here, this is what we're seeing, but we're also playing against that it failed. So if it breaks this, it could see something like that. So kind of what I still want to play unless it continues to do that. But right here is a good place to pick up just like the 3 pip take profit to the top of that action point. I'm going to zoom in and make sure we're taking that. So it's top of this right in there, play the stall, and then flip it back the other way. Okay, I gotta stop doing that. I trade Alveo and MC4 and my buys and my sells are in the wrong place. And so it happens all the time and it never happens. Just making that switch. Don't trust that candle to hold above it, so I'm just going to pull out. And I didn't. Bugger. Again, to MT4 and the execution speed of getting out of your trades. This might be where it might be good to have a take profit with the execution and the wicks and everything. So I think I'm going to play take profit of 5 here. And then just manually move them if I can. And I think 5 might be a little bit too much, but we'll see. Okay, there's my break lower. You can see because it crossed this action point, didn't cross that one. We'll see if it holds below this action point. If it does, we'll just continue to hold on to those 3 trades. But close it out. Move this back. So what's Sean's interview? Just curious. I don't know what that is. Is that a new thing he's doing? I'm just not familiar with that. Oh, it's something crypto. Is he doing an interview or is he getting interviewed? Or is this something that he does on a regular basis? I'm just not familiar with that terminology.
I think he's doing an interview with somebody that's pretty big in the crypto space tonight. It's just something he found and is offering tonight.
Gotcha. So he's invited somebody just to kind of chat on like a podcast type situation.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Is that something he does, or is that something he just happened to follow? Like, I mean, definitely, I think.
This is the first one he's done.
Okay. So that's probably why I'm not familiar with it. I definitely think that I should cancel the wobble. Is the interview open to everybody? I would assume it is, right?
It's open to everybody on Trader on the Street. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, is that Debbie?
It is.
Debbie.
Yes, sir.
You said the other day, I got to write it down. You said something, you said a cool quote, and I was like, I want to steal it and use it. And it was something about learning and teaching. Do you remember what you said?
Yep. The way we always taught our residents and our fellows was see one, do one, teach one.
Oh, I love that. See,
And if you can teach it, you know it.
Gotta write it down. I'm gonna text it to myself. See one, do one, teach one, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was like, what was that? I loved it, but I remember that I loved it, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Just here to help.
So I'm like, I got to ask her next time.
Yeah.
All right. See how, this candle popped up and getting smacked down. It's at 50% rule. If it holds here, then these trades should still be in play. But if it doesn't, then I'm just going to do a quick. And sometimes my MT4 does not have the same execution speed. So I'm like clicking, click, and it puts 2 trades on. I just saw like a quick grab right there. But because it failed to do that, really got to switch over to Alveo. Just love it so much.
That's what Khalid's 2-3 trade button comes in handy. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it has nothing to do with that. It's still the execution speed of your broker that gives you that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so if you put 3 trades on it, it goes 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the same as getting out, closing all. It's like, we're going to close all. Oh, that's what I was tinkering with. I want to get out of this buy. Get into a buy. Uh-oh, I hear my voice. You guys hear an echo? Or that's just on my end. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Good. Go back to 6. It's kind of been wobbling through this, taking little tiny profits here and there, and been able to kind of recover on that loss I took. And we're probably going to move. Just look to get out of that buy on a pullback on this. And then look to get into sells for a test of this right here. So everything there. And then start building into a layer of cells just for a test of this right here and a break of that.
This is starting to march down a little bit.
Like I said, I'm not really carrying. Got it.
Which way?
I don't really care which way, as long as it's not on the wrong side of a breakout. That's all I care about. So kind of went light. I kind of went light right here, thinking it could do that, but now got to sell into that. So that was definitely in my opinion, it could be an exhaustion bar if it holds all the way back here. If it closes above this, then that's not an exhaustion bar. Basically, one last ditch effort to the top, and we'll see if it closes above this, the body closes above this, then it'll once again test that top. And the information changes just like that. So this is kind of difficult to trade if you're trying to trade normal trading systems, like putting on the normal amount of trades, because everything's moving really, really quick right now. And it's fun and it's awesome, but it adds just another layer of complexity to your trading when things are just moving that fast. So yeah, I think I'm going to cancel the wobble crew tonight, because I mean, who wants to hear about that when you got an awesome interview that Sean's doing? So I think we all should just attend that. I do not want to compete with that, and I think you guys would agree. No, Jan. I get the night off.
Put him to work, Jan.
I'm not feeling bad because I don't have the class. Okay, so there's our pop higher. I was gonna fade that. So I'm gonna get out of these three. Well, I'm gonna probably just look to get out of everything if we get a blue candle, just because I don't want to have these guys turn into any worse. But I'll probably buy into this. So make sure that I'm taking a run higher, especially if it holds high. So I need to figure out how I'm going to fix those cells down there. Okay, now it's not a good time to buy. In fact, I'm going to peel that buy off. It's just sitting at the very top if I can. Now it's a good time to buy. It's just so fast. It's moving. Everything is moving really, really fast. And it's a good time to get out my cells. Just gave me an opportunity to get out. So highly recommend not trading in a live account if you're not used to this speed. That's to you, Pops. This is definitely abnormal market conditions, or it's not your typical market conditions. And so by trading what you know in conditions like this can sometimes be detrimental to your account because everything's moving so fast. It's like that. I went from, $15 down to $80 down, but in this kind of a market, I've been hovering around that loss factor. I'd rather, obviously I want to be on the other side of that, but because things are happening so fast, I was like there, and then it took it away, and then it was there, right? And so it's just very difficult, but it's a fun market. I really enjoy these type of markets when you got to put all of your speed in and this is really what the culmination of what I was talking about earlier about you got to be able to read and react to the market as opposed to thinking about it. This market, if you think about it, you're too late. It moves past you. Just like right now, as I was talking about it, I was going to get out of all of my positions on this green, still get out. I'm just going to make sure I have profit if I can. I just want to get rid of that top layer with profit. So we'll do that. And wait for a pullback down to get back in. I just wanted to get rid of those guys because they were sitting on the top and they weren't in a good position. And then you get your break. Yep. That happens. That happens, but I'd still rather trade that for it to come down here, get that layer on to get out of those, just because they were really bad position trades. So here,
Euro take profit.
Yeah, I moved back once we got kind of in that breakout situation. So I don't think it's gonna hold like below this right here. So I'm buying into a layer here. I might go a little heavier on this layer and then get out on a stall at the top of that candle. So heavy layers is like a 2-layer stack, and then get out at the top of that candle, depending on the action of that. Again, we're playing a breakout or above this. So it's like, this is the day chart. This is where you have your next support and resistance line. And so I could come up and touch that right there. So here's my action right here. Is it telling me to get out? It's kind of stalling, but it's also flickering. So flickering is not a stall, but I'm tempted. I'm going to let it sit and see what it does. If it goes above that, it could get a run.
For what it's worth, the 15-minute chart has been solid green since news.
Yeah, probably the 30 as well. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, I don't trust trends
Yeah,
right now.
I know.
Because it failed to break, I'm just going to take my profit there because I knew it was going to come back down and get that. And that was a really quick execution. So thank you on that one. Because it failed to break, I got out. And I'm probably going to buy back in just for a quick bounce off of this right here, this test. And there's my quick.
You sure got to be quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Gotta be quick. See if it'll let me get back in. I may get back in if this candle fails to cross this right here. And so I think I will, just a little light because it's not the best position to be in. So if it wicks down, I'll get into a little more. If it's failing to break and we got wick pressure coming in, again, just kind of taking what the market gives me, not looking to catch a wave, not really looking for anything, just taking what the market gives me. Right?
Good morning.
Well, I'm done trading now. Cliff's here. Cliff, take over. It's on you
This
now.
market is challenging me.
Mm-hmm. It's a challenge for sure. That's why it's awesome to trade this. But I was just saying to everybody that you shouldn't trade in a live account if these are not normal conditions to the way you trade. Right. And this is an easy thing to identify that if you're not used to trading this much momentum, it's probably wise to not trade a live account. Okay, so now we're getting that. Did break, did hold that. So the next action point is right here.
Oh.
Next action point is right here with that action point right there. Okay, so these trades right here, I'm going to use to get out of those trades if we get a little bit of a pop-up. Look to make sure I got some profit, a little bit of profit, and there's my pop-up. So I'm going to get out of everything right there and probably wait for a little bit of a pullback. Don't want to sell this because it could hold this and just keep running. So I'm definitely kind of looking for buy opportunities right now just because you're getting these lower highs. And then that, if it fails to go, just miss that opportunity there. Saying like right at that 50% of that candle is a good buy point.
Yeah,
And
there we go.
that always is not fun when you aren't into a move as much as you'd like to be. So, you know, kind of like what we talked about, I'm taking the bus route. Let's see here. Now, typically I turn this into a ride the wave situation, but it hasn't shown me that it's wants to. I mean, honestly, I probably will if we get another one, because we're a breakout on the one where you got no data to the left. I'm looking for it to kind of come up and touch this on the there. Probably just peel that guy off for profit, come back, wait for the next pullback and get in. So this is like what I talked about last night. For those of you guys who didn't get to see, I went on YouTube yesterday. So it's on YouTube channel. It'll be posting here. I had it set to post at 9 o'clock. So in an hour from now, it'll post. I just did my top 3 price action strategies that I use every day in the market. And we've already been using a couple of those today. So it's a good watch, but there's only one caveat. If you do watch it, even if you did watch it yesterday, please go and like it. It just helps me to obviously build that channel. So
It's on YouTube now?
It will be in about an hour. So I got it set to post in about an hour.
Okay.
You did some sales over there?
I did. Perfectly honest, meant to buy, but then I'm like, it's not a bad place for sell. So, but I'm going to close out of those guys. And also I'm looking for a pullback right here. So now I'm going to buy, but again, I'm not really playing price cycles as much as I'm playing candles right now. So kind of playing the candles where if it goes 50% of a candle, that's enough profit, right? And so I'm kind of almost in a way fibbing candles a little bit right now because the action is just so fast. I don't really want to have trades get away from me. So I'm taking profit fairly quickly. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking profit really quick when I get it because it's there. So I'm putting it into the bank. So I went from, pretty much looking for action points still there. So this is your action point for these guys. And I would take it if it comes up and stalls here. But more importantly, I'm looking at, does it pass the 50% of this candle? Right. And so it just so happens on this particular move that the 50% and the action point are at the same place. And so if it stalls there, that's when I get out. If my mouse was working, I was on my drawing, not my mouse. So I'd get out there and then I'd wait and see if it crosses and probably get into some more sells. But now my action point is at the bottom of this candle. So again, just kind of just getting in, getting out really quick. It's changing the way that I trade to adapt to market conditions, but I'm not changing how I read price. So it all comes down to what price action is doing, right? What it's giving them. So this is sort of what I'm trying to avoid, where I don't like having these on right here because it's down here. So the likelihood of it coming in and hitting these is not as great as it coming and down and testing. So again, we're getting a break to the higher side. They're still getting these higher highs. And so buying is still easier to make money than selling right now. So I think where I've been caught and kind of took my losses, got them back, took my losses, got them back. Where I've been caught has been whenever I've been selling. So, and I'm hoping that that's not the case here, right? At some point, I do think that we're going to get a downward trend channel, maybe not even a trend, just a little bit of a channel. So that's why I keep throwing on sells. So whenever that happens, I can. All right. Gave me my opportunity to get out. I didn't take it. So I'm hoping I just don't get burned here, but if it does pop up higher, I will need to probably take these losses before they turn into bigger losses. All right, I'm selling at the top of this just for a pullback of a smack down to see if I can just break even on these guys right here. And because it failed to break higher, still that 50% it's into play here. But I do not like just seeing what this candle does. I don't like the way that it's flickering on me. So I think I'm going to get out and look to get into buys because I think it's going to test the top of that. Sounds good. Okay. So I am really enjoying this trading session. I just wish I was up, but hey, in my mind, I'm still trading it. Like pretty good, even though I'm down $30. To me, $30 is easy to make up. So $30 is like breaking even. And so inside of all this stuff, if you're breaking even or you're just floating and you're just waiting to be on the right side of something, which could just happen right here, I'll take it. And truthfully, I'd probably be up in Alveo because there have been many, many times where I wanted to double in, triple in, like just smacking that button, and it only put like 2 trades on. And so I've seen some high probability trade setups inside of here where I could have taken them, but the market execution just didn't allow me to take what I wanted. All right, so we'll see if it does break down. If it does break down lower, 7 seconds. Could get another test of that. But I think I'm going to continue just to build into a buy situation just because we're been easier to buy here.
You mean to say you were trying to click it and it was giving you like a pop-up box?
No, it's just, you know, in Alveo, where you, if you have a wobble account, you can click the buy button, like, and it puts it on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I do the same thing here, and it puts 1 trade. I can't smack the buy button as fast as I can in Alveo. Does that make sense?
It won't accept it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. In that case, you have to just increase your lot size.
Increase your position size, but that's so hard to do in a market like this.
Okay. But if you intend to hit it like 10 times, then
right.
Just
I don't know when, and I want to stay light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I took your advice. I tripled my speed. I was going 10 miles an hour. Now I'm going 30 miles an hour.
You tripled your speed of like
like 0.01 to 0.03.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so I was going like super putt speed. Now I'm like moving at brisk pace.
Okay, so now the market is now starting to move into more of a price cycle-ish situation here. Until we start building lower lows, which it has to cross this, I'm still kind of more tend to be on the buy side. So we do have to cross, we do have to cross this in order for it to establish a lower low, right? And we got this price cycle up, and we're almost at the end of this price cycle down. We've been getting price cycle up, or excuse me, we've been trading in one price cycle. So the natural thing to believe is that we'll get another price cycle up before it comes and breaks this. I could see it come down and test it, but before it breaks that, should get a price cycle up. So I'm looking to build into a buy layer here because I don't think I'm going to be profitable on these guys anytime soon. So I'm looking for a possibility of a take profit here or here. But if I get trades on here for a test of even here, here, or here, so in this range, that's where I'm looking to close out of my buys. And again, if it does break through on this first attempt and hold this, then I'm back. Then I might just have to battle back again. Some days it's like that. I've restarted multiple times this session. But the one thing I didn't do, and the one thing you shouldn't do ever, is hold on to your losses because you think it's going to come back. All right, so it filled that 50%. So I got some time on that candle. Do we have any meat on the candle? What I'm looking for is if I can get into a quick sells for the touch of the bottom, but it has to go almost past that wick. And if it goes past the wick, it's past 50%. So it's not a good high probability trade. But this might be, if it fails to cross this, I'd get into some sells for a retest of that low. If it does cross it, then it's going back to where I said it's going to go. And then my action point right there. We'll see what it does when it touches that. If it stalls, we're still early on that candle, so I don't necessarily see a stall there. And to me, that's good enough. I'll get out. And then I will probably fade this right here. Just because I don't think it has enough legs to get to the top and cross the top. So I'm going to fade this. But I'm looking for it to come down 50% of this candle. Not a huge move. So 50% of a candle, 3 pips. Now I'm looking for it to come 50% of these 2 candles, which puts it right about right there. Now I'm looking for it to come down in a full retracement of that candle.
Here's where it runs up.
Yeah, but it hasn't proven to really give me like a breakout. So this is like perfect conditions. I love it when you do get the volatility instead of a marching market or a straight up and down. So
hey
now,
guys, it's been great, but I have a plane to catch. So
sounds good, man. You fly more than anybody I know. Well, that's not true. My sister flies more than anybody I know.
there you go. There you go.
She's kind of crazy though. She gets free flight benefits, and so she flies everywhere. I always ask her, "Where are you now?" She's all over the world. All right. So if it fails to break that, probably just look to get out of these trades. But there we go. Look to get out. Should have took it.
You never know today.
Right. Never know. Okay, right there's my action point. And if we cross it with a body, I'll hold, but it's not looking like it. So I'm just going to peel those guys off, wait for a little bit of a pullback. I'll probably sell back into this, just looking for it to cross here. If it doesn't cross, just waiting for the last little bit of that candle, thinking it's going to cross. Now, because it did that, I'm going to probably buy into this for a test back up to there, which is like a 5 pip test. And especially because that candle is larger than all the others. So now I'm looking for a 50% retracement. I was finally able to get kind of a little heavier on this move here. It's like right at that 50% line. And then it fell. I'm going to take that there. And I'm probably going to move back into a take profit of 3. Just because it's there. I can see 3 all over the place.
What do you call that when it comes to a point when the highs are getting lower and the lows are getting higher?
You said 2 things when it comes to a point, or just on the market when you start seeing
when it starts narrowing down into
that could turn into a trend reversal, but you still have to know where that trend is. So if you come out on the 1 minute, you're obviously in, I wouldn't really count that as trend, but this is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so this could be your channel that is playing for sure. And that's what it's been doing, kind of riding up, riding down. But once it kind of comes all the way down, crosses this point, and if it crosses this point quickly, I don't trust it as much as if it crosses as it starts getting into a channel and trading like this, where you get the lower highs and the lower lows. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And as long as it does that, I mean, that like what it's doing here, up and down, up and down, up and down, you're able to trade like what, kind of wobble in through here. But so now we kind of gotten a 2 price cycle move there. It's just, like I said, the key to this is just being light and because they're so big on the candles, so big on the price cycles, and the wrong way. Everything is just huge, right? I'm trading Texas size. Would have rather liked those take profits below that blue line, but we'll see. If I don't get them, I'm going to pill them or reposition them. As I got, oh, look at that. There's a gap. I don't really see that very often.
What causes the gap?
It could be your broker. Oftentimes your broker just the speed of the data coming into you. And I'm pretty confident that we don't have as fast of data speeds that you do on Alveo. You see it more often on larger time frames than you do like on, like right here is a gap. I rarely ever see gaps in Alveo, but I see them a lot in here. So a lot of times it depends on what type of feed you're getting from the market, and that causes that gap. But the true is there was a gap on Alveo. The true answer is like what John says, just no, you don't, for that split second, you have no buyers, you have no sellers, and then they come in, right? So there's no liquidity. Just nothing.
Often it is the lack of data over the time period or for it to paint. But if you refresh your chart, the gap disappears.
Yeah, that's what, yeah. But you do tend, obviously you see gaps all the time over the weekend because you never know where the price is going to open. But I rarely see gaps in Alveo, but I do often, and it does, where you're trading a retail data feed or you're trading a ECN style data feed. And that's what you get with Alveo is you get the ECN style quotes, which is the best data stream that you could get, which also costs the most.
You just mean there's a couple seconds where it didn't get any ticks. And if it happens right between two candles, you get sort of when it's moving, you get just a gap there. So if there's 5 seconds when no tick data comes in and it goes from 1 minute to the next.
Or if you just get, well, I guess, that's the same thing, but I'm like, news could cause that too.
Yeah.
Boom, huge pop.
There's a gap in the data and it's moving fast, so it can be
right.
Both.
All right. So this could be the turn that I was looking for, or I kind of expected. So because of that, I think I'm going to move my take profits up to touch that. So we'll move those up to 8 if we can. It's more important that I get this placed. So we'll move that. Sure do like Magneto.
I think that function kind of crashes that EA.
I think it does too.
Like if you go look at your journal, it is constantly doing stuff.
Yeah, look at that. But that doesn't, so you're saying if I had no EA on here, it might execute better on that script?
Yeah.
I'm going to try that.
Like I wouldn't use the EAs or that script. I would use that other one.
I have another one.
But you don't have another one. So I use Protege. Protege works really well for that.
I've used, okay, so let's do that. I'm going to test that.
Yeah, it has a little flip out thing and you just click the button until you have your stop loss number and you just click change all longs and it does it. But this one just constantly moves.
That's been kind of like my struggle for sure. So I'm going to switch over to Protege.